When you come in here, the rules of the game are different. What you can't do is talk over me. Now that's what you can't do. I think this is about your relationship. I just thought it was sex. Because it only gets worse for you. Act like you already know what you already know. This ain't new information to you. It's new information to me. This is why I got up this morning.
Today on Judge Dad.
It was his idea to have the party, and I wasn't involved with the destruction of the Airbnb.
And yet you were involved with the party. You've already admitted that. You can't be Pontius Pilate and wash your hands of the matter and walk away because your fingerprints are on the party, sir. I could find your fingerprints on one of those cups I saw in the photos in the room.
Court is in session. Dr. Sean McMillan presiding.
Good day, everybody. So plaintiff Cliff Johnson is suing defendant Miles SALWEN in the amount of $250 for half of a security deposit for an Airbnb. Mr. Johnson, tell me what's going on. How did we get here?
We were roommates, and I had recently gotten broken up with by my girlfriend at the time, and I was taking it really poorly. So he suggested that we go on a vacation, and I was like, yeah, that sounds great. He was being a good friend. So we decided to go to Palm Springs, and this is where we split the security deposit, 50-50, $250 each for the Airbnb. And I was just looking to have a chill weekend, just kind of relax, reset my mind a little bit. And Miles says that he wants to throw a party, and I really wasn't into that idea, but he was being insistent. So I gave in, and I was like, all right, yeah, fine, we can throw the party, whatever.
So he made you do it. He made you have the party.
It was his idea.
And he made you go to the Airbnb.
That was a joint idea.
All right, so you're having the party, and then what happened?
I was not having a good time. I was basically a wallflower the whole party. It was pretty rowdy. There was a lot of people there. I didn't know that Miles invited that many people, but there was a lot of people. And people were drinking a lot. Miles was drinking a lot, and it was getting really, really rowdy to the point where I just didn't want to be a part of it anymore. I wasn't having a good time anyway.
Were you drinking at all?
I was drinking a little, yes.
Yeah. So you were at the party, just not enjoying the party as much as other people.
Yes. Okay. That's correct.
Keep going.
So when I noticed that the party's getting a little bit too intense, I decided just to go to bed. I'm done. I wasn't having a good time. So I went to bed. And then when I woke up the next morning, the Airbnb was completely destroyed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we have pictures of that.
Yeah, let's see those photos. Okay, wow. Yes, that's pretty terrible. Looks like a party was going on. That's for sure. That's for sure. I'm still not clear about why we're here. We got a party. You didn't want to have the party. You had the party. You were drinking at the party, there but not enjoying the party. How did we get to you suing them? Get me to that part.
All right. So I went to bed. I woke up the next morning, and the place was trashed. I was not a part of how the Airbnb got trashed, so I don't think that I should be paying for the security deposit if it was Miles' fault that the Airbnb was destroyed.
What makes it his fault?
When I went to bed, it wasn't that way. It was his friends that he invited to the party. It was his idea to have the party, and I wasn't involved with the destruction of the Airbnb.
And yet you were involved with the party. You've already admitted that you were participating in the party. You were just not participating in the part of the party that ended up with the Airbnb being destroyed, as you put it. You can't be Pontius Pilate and wash your hands of the matter and walk away because your fingerprints are on the party, sir. I could find your fingerprints on one of those cups I saw in the photos in the room. All right, tell me why you went to bed so early. I find that to be interesting.
Well, the party was getting really intense, and I was not interested in that. People were being very loud. They were throwing things, and I wanted out.
And that's the only reason you went to bed early.
Yes.
It's interesting.
That-
So go
That's
ahead.
not right. That's not right.
So Miles, tell me why he went. Tell me how you understand or why you understand he withdrew early.
First off, Your Honor, you've been in your 20s. If you have a bunch of your friends over and you're taking shots with them throughout the night, you most likely are going to be drunk. And if you're drunk, you're most likely going to either have a good time or you're going to get a little bit emotional. And the only way you're going to get a little bit emotional is if there's something to get emotional about. I remember later in the night, I got some text messages. My partner, obviously, is going to be my good friend, Cliff here. So he had a pretty good angle as to see my phone. So while I was looking down, I texted back, and it ended up being text messages from his ex-girlfriend, who we were escaping from, for lack of a better term. And after that point, after he saw those messages, that was the time where he just completely shut down. He stopped talking as much as he was. He stopped enjoying himself, and that's when he went off to bed.
So
it wasn't until that point he had a bad time.
Mr. Miles, just to be clear, the text messages were from her to who?
To myself.
To you. So you were texting his ex-girlfriend, or she was texting you?
She texted me. I responded. We had a bit of a back and forth for a moment. She mentioned, she asked me where I was. She asked if I wanted to hang out. I told her I didn't say no, but I didn't think that Cliff would enjoy that. And then she proceeded to say that she doesn't really care if he wouldn't enjoy that since he cheated on her.
Now this is interesting. Let's talk guy. Let's just talk guy, me and you. Isn't there something called a guy code? Don't we have a guy code? Men have a code? Isn't part of that code not talking to each other's exes?
You are the foul.
Get off my stage! What's the ex-girlfriend's name?
Her name is Mary, Your Honor.
Mary, okay. Anything going on between you and Mary, Miles?
There wasn't. I was holding off, and then Cliff let me know that we were going to be here today. So I said, why not? And so, yeah, I've been hanging out with her since I got the news
Seems
that we'd
pretty
be here.
petty.
This is just...
Oh, does it?
This is
Something else sounds pretty petty, doesn't it?
Gentlemen, we're not going to do that. We're not going to have the two of you going tit for tat like toddlers in a sandbox, hurling sand at each other. Now, here's a question for you, Mr. Cliff. Why didn't you end the party?
To be honest, Your Honor, I'm just not that type of person. I'm not able to be that loud in front of a crowd like that.
But you are able to come to court and sue people for what you didn't have the courage to do?
Miles was continuing the party.
Yes or no, sir? Answer my question. Don't give me a story. Because this, when people come to this court, this is the part of the process that they never like, but this is the part that they need. I don't just give you decisions based upon the case and the law and all of that. What we do here is to make sure that you walk away and you're a better person for having been here. So I'm gonna ask you again, but you are the kind of person who will come to court and sue somebody for what you didn't have the courage to do in the moment.
Yes.
Yes, there you go. What you think about it is not, we're not at that part yet. And I'm doing this with you because I want you to be that kind of person. I want you to be the kind of person who will do it in the moment, not after the fact. I want you to be the kind of man who, when something is bothering you and somebody's offending you, you have the courage and you have the self-respect. Since you didn't like courage, you have the self-respect and the sense of your own dignity and worth to go right to that person and say, you're not going to do this, this is not going to happen, and you're not going to do it here. Because had you had done that, we wouldn't be here today, and you wouldn't have to listen to me, although listening to me is actually good for your soul. So, Mr. Cliff, you went to bed early because let's be honest, come on, we're being honest now. I mean, come on, it's me and you. Did you go to bed because you saw the text messages?
That was definitely a factor.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Look, Mr. Clear, I'd have done it, well, I'd have kicked him out, just to be clear. Everybody in there would have went to hell home when I got done. But yeah, my point is those text messages would have affected me too. I'd have been bothered by that. Ain't nothing wrong with saying that, man. That makes total sense that bothered you and got on your nerves. What doesn't make sense, and I'm just gonna reiterate, is what you did after it bothered you, right? Because your responsibility to yourself, to your friend, is just to make sure that what you feel gets addressed in the moment that you feel it. So someone's ex-girlfriend texts you, the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend is in the room with you, who's also your friend. What should you have done? Just think about that for a second. What should you have done? What do you wish you had done differently?
I am ordering you to heal. That's called a mama with a soft heart.
Son. I'm gonna talk to you as a dad for a second. Let me ask a couple of legal questions because this is important. Whose name was the facility in?
It would have been under my name.
It's in your name, and you go to bed when it's rowdy and people are going crazy. All right, so you agree. So did you and Mr. Miles have any kind of agreement, verbal, written or otherwise, about how you were going to pay for the Airbnb?
Well, it was an agreement to split everything 50-50.
Mr. Miles, was that the agreement?
That was the agreement, Your Honor.
Who's the witness here for?
For me, Your Honor.
For you.
Rebecca.
All right, let's bring out Rebecca. Miss Rebecca, welcome to court today. Sorry we get to meet under these circumstances, but we get to meet nevertheless. Please tell me what you might contribute to this deliberation.
So, Your Honor, the party, we actually threw to cheer Cliff up. Like, we would not have had that party if it wasn't for the circumstances. We did that to be good friends. And then Cliff was enjoying it. He was partying with us. We took maybe 5 shots just together, the 3 of us. So it's not like he was a wallflower and he was just on the side. He was partying with us. He was enjoying it. And at one point I looked over to both of them. I was like, hey guys, this party's getting kind of wild. Like, should we do something about it? And Cliff was like, nah, just enjoy it. Literally, just enjoy it. I was like, okay. I mean, it's up to him, and I'm not going to be a downer when he's going through a breakup, you know? So halfway through the night, all of a sudden, he looks over Mal's shoulder. He sees the text message, and I was even wondering what that was about because I couldn't really see until I came closer. Storms into his room, closes the door, and then never comes out. And by then, the party was already wild. Like, he could have ended it. We thought he didn't want to. We thought that's what he wanted. He just went into his room, slammed the door, and that was that.
Interesting. This is all interesting. So Miss Rebecca, let me ask the question because, you know, reasonable people will ask this question. I'll ask Mr. Miles in a second. If the party was getting out of hand and rowdy and you saw that, why didn't you seek to end it? Why didn't you say, okay, everybody, time to go, tearing up the furniture, breaking up stuff, get out?
I mean, I don't know about you, Your Honor, but I don't really go around ending other people's parties since it wasn't my party. To be fair, I was actually kind of surprised why Cliff was so shocked at the message. I really didn't think he cared since he was talking to other girls all night and he was doing his own thing and he had cheated on her before.
Yes,
so
Miss Rebecca, have you ever heard of the French philosopher named Blaise Pascal?
You know, I believe I studied that one time in high school.
Oh, high school. Well, you went to an advanced high school. I didn't encounter
AP history.
Nice. I didn't encounter Pascal until college. Pascal says this: the heart has its reasons that reason cannot understand. It means that you're never going to understand rationally why Cliff responded the way he did emotionally to a message from his ex-girlfriend, because the heart has its reasons that reason cannot understand. So I'm not surprised that he did it because love has a way of doing that to people. Love will make a calm man do completely asinine things, and that's how we got here.
I think that an important piece of information is kind of how me and Cliff became friends in the first place.
Yes, tell me that. That's where I was going next.
Yeah, so we met in senior year of college. I was about to graduate and become a software engineer. I graduated through computers, and I'm a tech guy. But now I end up just being a computer salesman. Whereas Cliff is an architect, so we're from very different backgrounds. You would probably assume we wouldn't have anything in common. But there was one thing in common, and this is why originally I said he's a hypocrite. He likes to party. He likes to party as much as I do. In fact, we bounce off of each other in that way, and we've thrown parties throughout the years at our place. This isn't one of the first things we've done, and it isn't the first vacation we've ever had together either. We've split this type of deal before. It's just this time specifically ended up being a sour note in the middle of it, which ended up kind of crashing his buzz. But in all honesty, I've never ran into this issue of Cliff not sharing that same kind of good energy with me, at least during a party.
Miles, let me tell you what changed it. Because I believe everything you just said. Let me tell you where it all went left, where it all ran off the tracks, is when Cliff saw you talking to his ex-girlfriend over your shoulder. He looked and saw you texting his ex-girlfriend, and that's where it went left. So it's not like it just, he just woke up and decided he was going to not like you and not party with you for no particular reason. There's cause for his concern. His mood changed because what he was seeing changed his mood. Causal effect. So let me ask you about that, because you just told me how y'all party together and y'all, you link together. You're this, he's that, but this is what you had in common. Good time. As a friend, sir, just as a friend. As a friend. Well, no, forget being a friend. Let's talk guy. Let's just talk guy, me and you. Isn't there something called a guy code? Do we have a guy code? Men have a code? And let's assume that we do. Isn't part of that code not talking to each other's exes?
I would agree with you, Your Honor. And to be honest with you, I didn't really give too much back in terms of conversation. I kind of just responded, kind of questioning. I told her I'm not saying no, but I wasn't saying yes either.
Let me ask you a question. This again, I helped Mr. Cliff get his soul together. I'm gonna help you get your soul together right now. So someone's ex-girlfriend texts you, the ex-boyfriend is in the room with you, who's also your friend. What should you have done? Just think about that for a second. What should you have done? What do you wish you had done differently?
I really wish that I had turned around and just showed it to him and said, I don't want to talk to her. I'm just showing you that this is happening. Bing,
bing, bing, bing, bing, bing, bing. There you go. There you go. See, that's grown man right there. I like that. I like that. I feel like I'm your father, boy. That's good stuff. That's what you should have done. What I like about it is the fact that you're able to be here right now and say, Your Honor, that's what I should have done. I didn't handle this right. Because you didn't. You trashed and participated in trashing the Airbnb. You ain't 18, you ain't 16, you're too old to be trashing places, sir.
You are the foul. Get off my stage.
Now, Cliff, before you feel so great about this moment, let's have another soul moment for you. What should you have done differently?
I guess I probably should have talked to him about it, brought it up instead of storming off.
Yes, here you go. You get ding, 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 too. See, both of you got some ding, ding, dings. Everybody happy? That's exactly what you should have done. Things go better when you talk. Situations get fixed, misunderstandings get avoided, homes don't get trashed, people don't get sued. When you talk in the moment, have the hard conversations in the moment, because that's what friends do. That's what makes him your friend. That's what makes you his friend. You can have the hard conversations and still be friends. One of the things I always ask people that I'm close to is, how honest can I be with you and still be friends? That's the main question. If I can't be tragically honest with you, then we ain't as friendly as I thought. All right. So here's my problem now. My problem is I'm not here to make a judgment about the friendship. I'm not here to make a judgment about what you should have done and what might have happened had you had only done what you should have done. I'm not here to make a judgment about that. Regrettably, I'm here to make a judgment about the suit. It's $250. Does Miles owe Cliff $250, half of the deposit? Is that right?
Yes.
For the Airbnb. This is interesting because based upon the law, based upon the letter of the law, I would probably say yes, that Miles, you do owe Cliff the money because you trashed and participated in trashing the Airbnb, which is a subject we didn't even get to, by the way, of why it is, someone, you ain't 18, you ain't 16, you're too old to be trashing places, sir. So we didn't even get there. But according to the letter of the law, you probably should pay this man since you were the one who trashed the place. You ruined it since he participated in trashing it. Here's my decision. Mr. Johnson, I think you deserve your money back because I think Mr. Miles went a little too far. I'm not giving you the money for spiteful reasons. I think you're suing him for spite. I'm not co-signing your spite. What I am doing is saying that Mr. Miles, he's responsible for half of the deposit because he's responsible for all of the damages. So I think you deserve some money for that. But Mr. Cliff, do not walk away from this thinking that you've been vindicated in any way, because as all of you have admitted, everybody could have handled this better. And I hope the next time you get in this situation, you will do exactly what we talked about today. That's my judgment.
Miles and I, we got some beers after everything was all said and done, and we were able to talk it all through. I was able to explain to him why his actions hurt me, and I was able to apologize for what I did.
I texted Mary, I said, don't talk to me anymore, we're done. I'm still best friends with this guy, and I am not going to have anything to do with you. And I think that, we've both really come out of this a lot stronger, and it feels like we've just matured like 4 years in just the past month, and I can't tell you how grateful I am for the time I had on the trial, even if I ended up losing.